Hello, Starscream back again. People want to know possibly a few of my thoughts on the movie. I went black then, didn't I? Not green. There's the start, and it got it out of the way, didn't it? Here we go, look, there's the culprit. It's not really a culprit, is it? What can I say about the film? That probably hasn't already been said by everybody else out there. Um, Personally, the thing that let me down, I thought, was the music first off before I start criticising any parts of the film. Stan Bush originally was drafted to do a song, which he did do, and there's a re-release of the original movie album, and I think it's the last two tracks of it are done by Stan Bush. One's a rehash of The Touch, and the other one's one that he done for the movie. Now, when I was speaking to him at Botcom, he told me, or actually he told me personally because I asked him. He only learned a couple of weeks before the actual movie went out that he'd been dropped from the project. Now, I don't think that's fair, considering the amount of impact the music had on the original film. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, as they say, and he was dropped and we had Linkin Park. Now, I remember Linkin Park about 5, 6, 7 years ago, and they were good. Now, they're emo, and they are horrible, and I did not like the soundtrack at all. But I can't hold that against the film. It's probably quite popular with people nowadays, that kind of music. So, I'll let them off. Just looking at the cover of the box, to be honest with you, sorry about that. Another thing which I found to be quite annoying with the film, I'm purely focusing on the negatives here, because there's some positives, and I will get onto them. But the negatives being with this film is the script for Prime. They pretty much just ripped off the original one. And it was done out of context, wasn't it? I mean, Prime has had his ass kicked by Megatron already, and then he goes to Megatron, one shall stand, one shall fall. And I'm thinking it's a bit late for that, my friend. You've had your ass kicked. And if it wasn't for the human influence and intervention, the Autobots probably would have actually got nowhere. And we know there's so many Transformers out there they could have made characters out of. And what do we get? We get 4 plus Prime. We get Ironhide. We get Ratchet, who currently I'm calling him Ratchet, and it's not, it's Ratchet. I might have a slight speech impediment, but I knew what I was saying. And Bumblebee, who for some reason can't talk through the whole film, damaged in battle. We'll repair him. And Jazz, who gets himself torn in half taking on Megatron. Yes, and it was right, and for the millionth time, alright, I'm sorry. I know it was Megatron that ripped him in half, and not Starscream. And yes, why does he take on Megatron? He's completely outclassed. Why did I go black again? I won't moan about that anyway. So I thought that was bad. But as I said, when we were speaking to the people who directed, they wanted to show us some sort of realism with the film. So he said we had to show there was sacrifices that had to be made. So we'd kill Jazz off. Well, okay, you want to make a serious film. Then why do we have these slapstick moments in the film where they're trying to hide round his father's house? I think it could have been done something from the Marx Brothers. I didn't see why we needed that. And then another thing, but 1 minute it's daytime and next minute it's night. You have absolutely no idea what the time scale involved in what they're doing or not. The thing's all over the place. And Megatron, I mean, okay, the idiot crashed, alright, and got himself frozen. Alright, fine. So he's frozen for a long time, then reawakens. Why the second does he awaken, buzzes out, bumps into Starscream and says, "You failed me, Starscream." And Starscream, I would imagine, would be thinking himself, okay, what have I actually failed you on? You're the prick who got yourself frozen in a flipping iceberg thing and just sat dormant while the filthy earth creatures took advantage and gave us the microchip and hi-fi stereos or whatever it is they apparently helps us do. And apparently again, I'll use it one more time later on probably without even knowing it. Don't get me wrong, I like the film. As I said, I think the Decepticons could have had so much more character development, couldn't they? I mean, Starscream and the rest of them, they're just floating around, they're just waiting for something to happen. And then all of a sudden, we got our shot to go for it. Frenzy did more work than any of them. I mean, I like the bit where he does this little tip the cat bit, and he's running off to the police squad car to get into it to be driven off to explain where they found Witwicky's sunglasses, or No, sorry, not sunglasses. His father's grandfather's or great grandfather's glasses, which apparently embedded with the directions to, I don't know, the cube, which has all changed the story of Vector Sigma Alpha Trion. He's rewritten the entire story, isn't he? Which I don't blame him. I mean, whatever the guy did, Michael Bay, whatever he'd done, he'd disappoint people. He'd disappoint new fans or he'd disappoint old fans. So you can't win. It's a difficult situation to be in. I mean, I think he's done a good job with the film. I'm not quite sure if it's meant to be serious or comical in parts. And it jumps all around. I personally think the film was too long. I lost patience with it halfway through. And I thought, oh great, we got to the battle at the end. Which was good, and then they killed Jazz off. And I suppose much to the original trait of Starscream, he does nothing. He pops around and he attacks a few planes, which was not really particularly difficult for him. The other Decepticons die. Megatron gets the cube shoved into him, so that's the only thing we would assume. I mean, I've heard rumours that we might have Galvatron back. Definitely Ultra Magnus, providing the next film goes ahead. Hoping for a better soundtrack. And I've even heard rumours that Jazz comes back. Now, Michael Bay? Yeah, he said that there was going to be rumours that he's going to spread that are untrue just for the sake of it. So when you go and see the film, you'll be surprised. I'm sorry, my friend, we will not be. I went red. Oh, that's a new one. I have no idea why. And just one more criticism of the film while I'm at it. Scorponok. What a waste of a namesake. We've seen what happened in the comics. He was so well developed, helping out Prime Magnus against them on his own, the initialization of the Headmasters. We've seen it in the cartoon, Lord Zarak. They had so much potential for that character. And what do? We'll make him a little Griffin type bot who jumps into the sand and gets the, well, to pardon my French, the shit blown out of him by planes and napalms. And it's not even explained, it's Scorponok. I mean, he's just released as a packaged toy called Scorponok. But there's no explanation given to him, he just jumps out at the beginning. Alright, I think I've moaned about it. And one more thing I suppose I could say, the nerd never gets the girl, alright? I'm afraid that's the simple truth of the matter. They may portray it in films, in American movies, but it does not happen. Believe me, I've tried, and I've gone black again. I'm getting tired. I'm going to have to look at that camera. I've gone red and black a couple of times today. Probably because I'm ranting and raving. Well, when all's said and done, I think it was a very good film. It's not a great film, and I preferred the original one. I think there was a lot of potential missed, but I said you're always going to disappoint people, especially Transformer fans, because they're highly critical of practically everything you do, to be honest with you, and I'm worst offender. But my opinion is, I think it's a great film. It's a real good summer blockbusters. It had a lot going for it. I think it's a bit long, but there was something happening all the time, so you can't fault it for that. And the effects were good. Fingers crossed for the next one. We'll see how it goes. I'll do my infamous sludge review, which I keep saying I'll do and I haven't. I'll see you all out there, and I hope I haven't irritated too many people. Take care.